Hello everyone, today let's solve the problem Q at school. So here this was asked in Codeforces round 163 div 2, right? So what the question states here, we are given a children, so you can just go through the question. Um, it's very easy basically to understand. So I'll just summarize the question so that it will be easier for us to understand, right? So here we are given a queue of children, right? So just give me a second here. We are given a queue of children represented by a string. Again I'm telling, we are given a queue of children that is represented by a string, where b is nothing but here the character b within the string means boys, right, or the boy. Here g, the character g within the string means here girl, right? So b means boy and g means girl. Here every second any bg pair swaps to gb. Every 1 second here, every second every boy girl pair changes to girl boy pair, right? Every boy girl pair swaps to become girl boy. Every boy girl pair swaps to become girl boy, right? So we must simulate the queue transformation for t seconds and print the final arrangement. So what we have to do, so we know that b is represented boy and g is represented by girl, and we are given a queue of children that is represented by string, and b is nothing but the boy and g is nothing but the girl, and every second any boy girl pair swaps in swaps to become girl boy here, right? So we need to simulate the queue transformation for t seconds and print the final argument. What we need to do? We need to simulate the queue transformation for t seconds and pair the final argument. So I hope the question is completely clear. Easy to understand, right? So here you can clearly see phi 1 they have given here, phi 1 they have given 5 inputs, right? So here in this case it is they have given the input bg gb g, right? So b double g bg. So the output that we need to get here is this one, right? Same goes with second input or the second example. Same goes with the third example as well. So here again 5 because we have this one 5 inputs, right? B double g bg. Again here we have 4 1 4 nothing but here we have triple g b 4 inputs, right? So this is fine. Four characters basically within the input, so we have 4 here. So output that we need to get is this one, right? So I hope the question part is completely clear. Let's discuss the approach followed by the complexities and then let's write the code. Let's discuss the approach first. So let's consider the same first example that they have given in the question. So here we have 5 1 5 means here we have the characters 5 characters, right, within the input. So within this example, so the output that we need to get here is gb double gb, right? So first thing that we need to keep in mind is we will be going with the queue approach. We'll be going with the queue reordering, right? So we'll be making use of the queue operations basically in short, right? So we'll be going with the approach queue. So that one we need to keep in mind. Let's move on with the step-by-step explanation here. So we are considering the same input, right, or the same first example. So here initially when time is 0, so initially when time is 0, the input that we have been given here is b double g bg, right? So let's scan from left to right. Let's scan from left to right. At index 0, we have this one b comma g. So what we'll do, we'll swap this one at index 0 we have b and b comma g. What we'll do, we'll swap this one. Now when we swap this one, g will be here and b will be here, right? So this will be gb gb g, gb gb g, right? So now at index 1, which became b after swap, which became b after swapping, we got b at index 1, right? So this is index 0, index 1 2 3 4. This is 0 based index, right? So here this index 1 became b after the swap, right? So now we will skip to avoid the double swap. We will skip this one to avoid the double swap, right? So final this one final after 1 second, the output that we get here is, so see here, so this will remain g itself. This becomes basically when we swap 3 and 4, so this becomes g again. So this will be GB, G, GB, right? After 1 second, this remains same itself. This becomes basically GB, GGB, right? So the final output. So final after 1 second, the output that we got is GB double GB, right? So the output that we got here is GB double GB, which is equivalent to the output that they have mentioned for the first example in the question, or the first input in the question, right? So the approach works absolutely correct. What we'll do, we will repeat the above logic t times. We will repeat above logic t times. T means we have been given t here 1 second. So in this case, t is 1 second, right? You can, I insist you to try out with the same approach or the same logic for the second input, third input, or the fourth input, right? So t, they have mentioned 2 or something in the second example. I don't remember exactly. So you can just try it out with the different number of characters and different t, right? You can just try it out for the second example, third example, or the fourth example that they have given at the question, right? So this is the approach that we'll be going with. So we will repeat above logic t times. At each second we'll scan the queue from left to right. So this one is important. We are going uh, I mean, we are scanning the queue from left to right. And also, if B is before G, and if B is before G, we'll swap and skip the next index. We'll swap and skip the next index. That's what we did here, if you know. So here it was BG, G, BG. Here B is before G here, right? So B is before G 2 times, right? So 2 times. So here in this case, first what we did, it becomes GB. So G will ignore this one, and what we'll do, B is before G, sorry, this one will consider, and again this will be BG double G B. This becomes BG double G B, right? So which is equivalent to the output that they have given in the output one, basically accordingly with the approach. So I hope the approach part is completely clear, right? I hope the approach part is completely clear. Let's quickly discuss the complexities here. So what will be the time complexity? The time complexity would be big O of t into n. The time complexity would be big O of t into n, and the space complexity would be big O of n. So why the complexity here is big O of t into n? For t seconds, we are scanning the queue of length n exactly once here. So the time complexity would be quite obviously big O of t into n. And the space complexity would be big O of n because we are making use of a queue, and we'll be making use of the temporary array of size n as well. So overall time complexity, we have to iterate through the individual element, right? So individual element in the array, and also we are making use of the queue, right? So the space complexity in the worst case would be big of n here. So the time complexity would be big of t into n, and the space complexity would be big of n for the code that we'll be writing in the future. So I hope the approach and the complexities part is completely clear. As we are completely familiar with the approach and complexities, let's start writing the code. So let's start writing the code. So here first we'll be making use of the fast input and output, means fast input reading and the fast output writing. Means we'll be making use of the buffered return and print writer. So let's do one thing. Let's import the input output package, right? So I'll just go with import java dot input output dot star. So next one, let's import the utility packages as well. So I'll just go with java dot util dot star. So this is fine. Next, let's do one thing. Let's make use of the class main here. So this, let me make this one capital N. This is fine. So let me give here main. So let me delete this part. So within this class, so let me make use of the throws input output exception as well, or else we'll get the error. So yeah, within the class, what should we do? Let's make use of the fast input reader and fast output writer. So that is the reason we have imported input output package, right? So I'll just go with buffered reader equals new buffered reader new input stream reader system dot n, and also we'll be making use of the this one print writer. So I'll just go with print writer. So this will be tpw equals new print writer of system dot out. So this is fine. Let me come out of this one. So we have to read the strings n and t. So let me go with the string. So this has to be string of arrays. So I'll just consider the input variable name input. So this will be buffered reader. So as we are reading n and t, right? So I'll just make use of read line here and also split. Sorry, this will be word. So let me leave the space here. So then we have to go with the number of children and number of seconds that we need to simulate, because they have in the input they have given number of characters, nothing but 5 initially for the input that we took for the example that we took, first example, right? 5 and 1 we had. So we had to simulate for 1 second and 5 characters that were present, right? So we need to consider number of children and number of seconds to simulate here. For that, for the number of children I'll consider n, variable n, and I'll just give here integer dot percent of input 0. This is fine. And also in t equals, so this will be integer dot percent, this will be integer dot percent of input 1. So this is fine. So let me come out of this one entirely. So we have to read the queue as the character array. So let's make use of 2 char array, right? So here I'll just go with char. So this characters in the form of array, right? So this will be array equals pr dot, let's make use of the read line here. So let's give 2 char array, 2 char array. This is fine. Hope this part is fine. So we are just reading the queue as character array. Next we have to initialize the queue. We have not initialized the queue yet, so I'll just go with queue. So this will be character. So you can make use of the DQ as well. I'll just be going with the linked list here, array DQ as well, right? So to this one, to initialize the queue. So I'll just go with the linked list part, linked list one. So I'll just go with new linked list. We're done with the syntax. We have successfully initialized the queue. Now after initializing the queue, we have to fill the queue initially with the given order, right? Nothing but the iteration part I'm speaking of. So here this will be for int I equals 0, I less than n. Let's increment the I. So within the for loop, I'll just go with q dot add of array of I. So here what we are doing, we are just filling the queue initially with the given order. I'll just come out of the for loop entirely, and now we have to simulate the t seconds, number of seconds that were given in the input 1 or the example 1 was 1 for the example that we considered. Right now let's simulate the t second. Let's see. First let's go through the iteration here. This will be for in time equals 0, because we have to simulate this one t seconds, right? So this will be time less than t, and let's increment the t. So this has to be time, right? So we have to increment the time. So this is fine. So here let's consider the temporary array to hold the current state. So I'll just go with char. So let me give current here. This one will be new char of n. This is fine. Again, let's make use of one more for loop, because we have to extract the characters from the queue. We have to extract the characters from the queue. For that one, let's make use of the, let's go with another iteration. So this will be I equals 0, I less than n, I less plus. So within the for loop, we have to extract the characters from queue. How can we articulate that one in the form of code? So I'll just give here iterated value of the current will be q dot poll of q dot poll. This is enough. So let me come out of this for loop entirely. So next, let's do one thing. We have to traverse and we have to perform the swaps if BG is found. If BG is found, we have to traverse and perform the swaps, right? So we have to perform the swap means BG, we need to swap from BG to GB if BG is found. Means we have to traverse and perform swaps if BG is found. Again, you would have this one. Guess this one. We will be making we'll be making use of another for loop basically. So this will be for int I equals 0, I less than n minus 1. This will be I plus plus. This is fine. Within the for loop, again, let's write the simple if condition. If current of I, this is equal to B and iterated value means this will be I plus 1 this time. Current of I plus 1. This is equals to G. So this is what we did in the approach as well. If we found B before G, we would swap G in the place of B, right? So BG to GB basically. That's what they have given in the question as well. So then what we'll do, we have to go for the swapping part. So swapping easy. So let me consider the temporary variable here, char temp equals. So this will be iterated value of the current and we are just swapping here. So this will be current of I equals current of I plus 1 and finally current of I plus 1 equals temp. This is fine. Let's do one thing. Let's increment the I. Nothing but we are skipping the next index to avoid the overlapping swaps. So this is fine. Uh, Final step here, we have to clear the queue for the next second. So we have to simulate the queue for every second based on the t that they have given in the input, right? So we have to clear queue for next second. So for the first example it is fine, we have to simulate for only 1 second, right? So every test case is not same. In every this thing input they have given different t's, so we have to simulate for every input, right? All the inputs, we have to consider all the inputs in mind. So we have to this one clear the queue for next second. So let me go with queue dot clear. So let's go with the clear operation here that the queue provides, right? So the final step is we have to push the it's not the final step. Within this, after clearing the queue for next second, we have to push the updated state back to the queue. Again, you would have guessed that we'll be going with the iteration, nothing but here int I equals 0, I less than n. So this will be I plus plus. Within the for loop, we have to push the updated state back to the queue. So means we have to add. So I'll be making use of the add operation here, iterated value of the current, right? So this will be current of I. So let me come out of this one entirely. So next a step is we have to print the final result. So Q shouldn't be empty in that case. So let's make use of the while loop here. So this will be while Q, while not of Q dot, let me make use of the is empty operation. While Q is not empty, then what we will do, let's print the result. Nothing but we are making use of the print writer, right? So first output writer. Right, so this one has to be print writer dot println of, so let's go with the q dot poll here. So this is fine. So we are done with the code. The one final step is we have to move to the next line. We have to move to the next line and we have to flush the output buffer. So here in this case, to move to the next line, I'll just give print writer dot println. So this is fine. And the final step is we have to flush the output buffer. Nothing but here this will be pw dot flush, print writer dot flush. So this is it. This is it for the code, right? I hope this works. Let's see. Let's consider this input. We have to get the output GB double GB, right? So let me give this input. Let me run this one. So here we are getting GB double GB, but um, this one we are getting in the individual line, right? So we need to get slash in somewhere here. Just give me a second here. Let's see. Let's submit the same thing. This we are getting in the individual lines, right? So next line, basically, we have to get this one in the individual line, GB, GGB. So I hope this works as well. I don't know whether this works. Let's check. Let's try submitting this one. Then if it doesn't work, then we can just go with the slash n, right? So let's try with the different inputs first. So for this second input or the second example, we have to get the output double G BGB. So we are getting double G BGB. This works correctly. So let's try with the third input or the last input. We have to get double G triple G B. So here in this case, paste the input here. Yeah, triple G B we are getting, right. So output works absolutely correct, right. So for the inputs that we have given. So let me copy this one and let me come here. Let me paste it over here. Let me do one thing. Let me come here and let me paste the this one signature starter template as well. So let me hit the submit button. Right. So I hope this works. Let's see. If this works, this is fine. So only one thing that here we have problem is this we are printing in different line, right? Rather than the same line. This has to work still. Let's see. So yeah, we are getting the wrong answer, right? So this doesn't work basically. What we need to do here, this we have to print in the same line. So here, what I have done in the line number 44, we are making use of the, I mean, first of all, from the line number 43 to 45, we are printing the final result. So we are making use of the print ln. So here, this ln part, this what it does is, it prints the output in different line. So one by one, right? So we are getting the character one by one in different line, right? So here, if we remove this one ln, then every character we get in the same line. So let me remove this one and let me run this one. So that is the reason we were getting in the different characters in different line, right? So here now this has to work. See, this is working, right? So let's do one thing. Now let me copy this one, or let me do one thing here. Let me give this one. Let me change here itself before submitting. Where is this? Also let me remove the ln here. So let me submit this one again. So this time, so here this has to work this time. Let's see for all the test cases. Clearly see here, this is running on test one. Let's wait for some time. Right. So here you can clearly see this one. The code got accepted. Right. So the code that we wrote works absolutely correct. Right. So I hope the solution part is completely clear along with the complexities and approach. Right. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.